Alright. The last two have been quite packed and intense, and they have taken a while for me to finish. Mostly on account of I get all the cutaways afterwards, and I basically box myself into a corner where I have to track down about 60 images, and my standards are so stupidly and pointlessly high that I won't settle for tiny little low-res images. I thought I would slow things down for me with an issue about going fast. This is Quasar 17, the super speed race issue, and I checked and I have not reviewed this before. In this, the speedsters of the Marvel Universe, they compete in a race to determine who the fastest is. A fun idea brought to you by Marky Mark G and Michael Mann, although it is not without its flaws. Quasar is returning to Earth after one of his wacky space adventures, and he is currently working with the Justice League here, and also his friend Lightray from the New Gods. They part ways with the Justice League, and then Quasar and Lightray are approached by Usain Bolt, one of the cosmic OAPs, the old age pensioners of the universe. He is largely a benign one. He is neither benevolent or malevolent. He doesn't often rear his head to do morally questionable things, but he also never joins forces to oppose evil happenings. He is one of the more hedonistic of the OAPs of the universe. He is merely interested in experience and speed, not the drug though, and observing the forces of speed at play. I suppose he could be off his head on whiz. He first appeared in... Ooh, that's a thinker. When did he first appear? You know, I'm not sure I can... I think it might have been... He might have been mentioned in Hulk 248th. Like a cameo appearance where it shows all the OAPs of the universe. I think that would be the first appearance. No, wait, hold on. I think Usain Bolt was Defenders, New Defenders. Either his first appearance or his first full appearance, it was in Peter Gilbert's crappy run. He met Moongarden. The only good thing about it was that it implied they spent some time together, presumably fucking, making it the case that even the cosmic entities are DTF with the beautiful bald lady. There had never been much to this character. He barely ever appears even. This issue probably does the most amount of work towards establishing a character for him. He wants Lightray to compete in his cosmic race of Earth's speedsters, and I will explain Lightray in this video. But here are some downtime moments with Quasar and his dead dad. And then we get to see Quasar at his day job as a security consultant. But this is on a day when Moongarden didn't show up for work, so I am less interested in it. Quasar talking to Eeyore, the entity that he derives his powers from. As Eeyore ate Moongarden? No. But based on a history with Usain Bolt, Eeyore might have ate her out. Light Ray is wanting to put his speed to the test and push it to its absolute limits. That is why he is taking part in this race. And we have some other recognisable speedsters. The Flash, Speed McGee, even Captain Marbles, the real one, Monica Rambeau. We will get to her and how her inclusion and depiction in this issue is one of its greatest failings. I would point out that Northman and Aurora Borealis appear to have been left out, and so is one of the Powder Puff pack. I don't know which, because they kept swapping powers, but one of them had light speed powers. I suppose with the missing characters, we are to assume that they just turned down the offer. But it feels a bit disappointing to have this big concept issue and not have them all here for it. Usain Bolt creates a giant runway for the race. A runway that reaches up to the moon. We also get a clear look at the competitors here. We have Black Racist from the Serpent League of America, Speed McGee, Super Sabra, The Flash, one of my favourite Marvel characters, Captain Marbles, the real one, Monica Rambeau, and the Flash from the Justice League. And the flashing is only going to get more confusing. And finally, Light Ray, who we already knew was taking part. And we are off to the races, literally. This is fantastic stuff, depicted perfectly by the underrated Michael Mann. This is executed exactly how it should be. We get individual thoughts and motivation from each of the contenders, and that is all good. And this is actually the most amount of insight we ever get into Black Racists. And then we have the rather lousy stuff with Captain Marbles, the real one, Monica Rambeau. She is disqualified from the race because she is not touching the ground enough. Her inclusion in this issue is weird because she was never a speedster. She could travel at light speed, but her ability to cover distance was energy-based, which then begs the question of why other characters with energy-based powers similar are not being included. Like, why isn't Quasar also taking part? Furthermore, she no longer even had those powers. This comes after she was repowered in a 1989 one-shot. Her powers were changed and reduced, and specifically her ability to transform into energy and travel at light speed was limited down to her control over her density. The lighter she made herself, the faster she could travel. And then you have the fact that her role in this issue is to be disqualified, which makes her look bad. She isn't just losing a race, she is being dismissed as if she is cheating. There is no reason to bring this character into the story if this is what you are doing with her. In expectation of arguments about this writer and his involvement in the worst period of this character's history, he was also involved in the best period of this character's history, and at this point he was the only one who bothered to write her, and he is also the one who returns her original powers to her in 40 issues time. What happens next is DC's Barney Allen, the Flask of the Silver Age. He manifests on Marvel Earth following his apparent death at the end of Christmas on Infinite Earths. And he then outraces almost everyone because the Flask is the fastest man alive. In the end, it comes down to Light Ray, the Flash from the Justice League, and the Flask, Barney Allen. And I dislike that the Flash, one of my favourite Marvel characters, is not here. The Flash is Marvel's most known speedster. The Flash is the major speedster at Marvel. And here he's not even in the top 3. He has been beat by 2 DC characters and some guy from the New Gods. Some guy from the New Gods who I will now explain for you. Light Ray is part of the supporting cast in this title. He is Quasar's friend, and I am sure some people on Twitter believe they are homosexuals between the panels. He was created by Jack Quimby, and he first appeared in issue 5 of The New Gods. The weird thing is, and maybe it is more my misunderstanding of the New Gods themselves, but the New Gods share the same powers. Light Ray seemed unique in that he only really utilised super speed, and that none of the other New Gods really bothered using super speed for some reason. Like most of the New Gods, he has struggled with being relevant, but due to his continued appearances in Quasar's series, Light Ray stands out as one of the New Gods with the most character and the most use outside of the New Gods books, second only to Big Barda, of course. Then in the 90s, in his presumably mandated Kurt Busey copycat phase, Roy Sternman retconned that some Goldie Age speedsters were actually Light Ray, and this never amounted to anything or ever mattered. The race ends, and the Flask, Barney Allen, wins the race, but he also doesn't win the race, because he was never part of the race, and instead Light Ray wins the race, since he outsped the people who were actually part of the race. That is the end of the issue, and it is a tremendously fun idea, and the art really captures the needs of the issue. What lets it down are choices made, the downplaying of key characters. One is relegated to being only the 4th fastest person in the Marvel Universe. Another is disqualified from a race that she shouldn't have been included in. These things do contribute to an overall lack of enjoyment from a story that should thrive on enjoyment. I hate to be so down on it, but I cannot give it more than 7 thumbs up.